So the important thing to remember is don't judge me.
Hey everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am so excited to share with you a guest room makeover. This room has been in total chaos over the last several weeks and actually months, if I'm going to be honest. I spent some time in here getting things beautified and lovely. We have some guests coming for the holidays. You might too, and I'm really glad that you're here. So before I jump into the video, it's a bit of a spoiler behind me, but I want to thank Boll Branch for partnering with me today. At this point, my entire house is outfitted with Boll Branch products. I actually just visited their new brick and mortar store here in Atlanta. It is incredible. And while I was there, we picked out this gorgeous bedding set. I went with the reversible comforter, the percale sheet set, the beautiful blanket, and then the gorgeous pillows. And I'm going to talk more about the individual products that I got. But first, let me tell you really quick why I love Boll Branch so much. So first of all, they are ethically and sustainably sourced. That's how I found them years ago. I was a customer a long time before I ever had a YouTube channel, and I love that they do their homework and we can feel really good about purchasing products from them. The other thing is the quality. It is unmatched. These sheets make incredible gifts. They also have a lot of accessories that are great for gifts. I recently picked up one of their, I think it's called the Dream Weave robe. Incredible. Actually had it embroidered with my name because they had a woman doing that at the grand opening. I just feel great when I purchase from this company because I know the company is ethical, I know the people that own it and run it, and I know that the quality is unmatched. I now own the linen set, a signature set, and then this percale set, and I'm just blown away by how beautiful everything is and how long it lasts. So if you're looking for sustainably and ethically sourced bedding that is top-notch quality for your room, your kids' rooms, your guest room, I'm so happy to be bringing you a code. The code is GemTheForge25. It will be good until the end of the year, and this is the best deal you will get from them this year. So if you're wanting to buy them for gifts, one of the things I love is how beautifully packaged they are. GemTheForge25 is your coupon code. Down in the description box, you'll see a link to everything that I have on my bed here. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. I'm going to show you more about that in a minute. And yeah, they're just a great company. Okay, so when it comes to guest rooms, a lot of us, myself included, have a spare room. And the spare room thing, I always love, I think it's Anne of Green Gables and also The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. They make a specific reference to spare rooms. In The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, if you remember, it's Mr. Tumnus who tells Lucy he thinks she's from Spare Anybody remember that? And in Anne of Green Gables, it's Diana's aunt that has the sparest of spare bedrooms. So having a spare room is a luxury. I 100% acknowledge that. This is the home where we raised our boys, and the room that I'm sitting in used to belong to Matthew, one of my twins. Matt, if you're watching, yes, this is still your room. He has a lovely partner, Ren, who we adore. So whenever they come home to visit, she will be in this room as well. So I didn't really feel bad giving it a little bit more of a feminine flair. This is where my mom stayed when she visited us last year, and my sister will be staying here in the spring. So it is a lot of women are staying in this room. So when I started to kind of change the colors and the bedding, I was okay with going a little bit more of a feminine nod. Having said all that, the first thing I needed to do before we got started was clear out all the junk. While we've been doing our bathroom renovation, I actually moved into this room and Scott moved into Will's room, which is just on the other side of the Jack and Jill bath. We did a little staycation. And this room had kind of become a dumping ground. I think a lot of us have those spare rooms that are guest rooms, but they're also junk rooms. And a junk room is just never a good way to go because it just becomes that place where things go to die. You don't know what's in there. Maybe, well, not maybe, for me, it's where I would put empty boxes and things that I just didn't have anything else to do with them. They would end up in this room. As I'm doing more decluttering and trying to pare down our belongings, The benefit of that is I don't really need a junk room or a spare room to just stick stuff because we have plenty of closet space and storage space and drawers and all the things in other areas of the house. And I'm trying to be really disciplined about dealing with things in the moment and not just tucking them away to deal with them another time. So if you have a junk room or a spare room room or a guest room that has become a dumping ground, this is your motivation, your wake-up call. Let's get this done now before the holidays start. And then once I show you the transformation of the room, I'm going to go over everything that I added to this room to make it really warm and welcoming and comforting for guests.
Okay, so the important thing to remember is don't judge me, because there's been a lot going on and this room is a disaster. So I'm actually using you guys, as I often do, as a body doubling opportunity for me, because if I have to film it, then I have to do it. So here's what's happened. You guys know, or maybe you don't, because maybe you're new. And if you're new, it is so lovely to have you here. Go ahead and subscribe, because I would love that. But we did our big bathroom renovation, and we had to move out completely of our bedroom and bathroom. So I've slowly been able to move back in. And then I just got back into town yesterday. While I was gone, they came to do some insulation, and unbeknownst to us, we had to move back out of our bedroom, and all of my clothes had to come back into this room. So my sweet husband single-handedly brought everything from my closet into this room and into my office. And now I have to reset this room. And also I had to spend the night in here last night. So what we have going on is needing to unpack from my trip, Sadie on the bed, the room in such a disaster. I mean, there's clothes on the floor, and we need to get this room ready because we have company coming soon. So for the holidays, I need to reset this room. It needs to be comfy, cozy, ready for guests, preferably without a dog on the bed. Although, I don't know, if I visit someone, I'm very happy to have their dog on my bed, because that means he likes me, or she. So yeah, we're going to get started and hopefully transform this space. I have some new bedding for in here. I have some new pillows for in here, because it was recently brought to my attention that you're only supposed to have pillows for 2 to 3 years. Whoops. Lots of pillows here that have been here longer than that. And I think we're going to transform it into a lovely, welcoming space for guests. At least that's the hope. So let's do it. So we did order, and it came in while I was out of town, this new headboard from Wayfair, and Scott put it together for me. I think it was only 2 things needed to be screwed in. But hold on, and I'll tell you why that's such a big deal. One of the things when you actually spend the night in your own guest room is you realize the things that don't work. I learned that this lamp here on the bedside table did not have enough bright light. I learned that because there was no headboard, things would like fall behind the bed, and it was just not comfortable for sitting up and reading at night. By bothering you, Sadie? I also learned that this nightstand is pretty much useless, and I'm going to switch it out for another small table that I have in my office. And let me show you why. It is the weirdest thing. It's from Kelly Clarkson Home. I mean, it looks fine. It was very inexpensive, but let me tell you why it does not work. I don't know if you can tell, but this is, maybe if I do it this way, this is bumpy. So for me, the main purpose of a nightstand is to hold my water glass. And it wobbles all over the place, and it doesn't stay, flat. Who would make a table that's like bumpy like that? Make it make sense. So this is going in my office, and I'm switching out for another table. One more guitar. Can you tell that the son whose room this was really into music? All of his guitars have a home, but it is not here. Okay, I'm gonna go throw these sheets in the washer before I put them on the bed, but I wanted to show you how beautiful the packaging is from Boll Branch. I just think it's so gorgeous. It actually came with a little, I think it had a little sticker on it, but I took it off because of course I had to open them when they first came. And these are the percale hemmed sheet set. They have the percale, they have a signature, right, Sadie? And then they have the linen, which is what we have on our primary bed, which I adore, but isn't for everybody. I felt like the percale was the best bet for the queen size bed in the guest room. So I'm going to wash these, throw them in the dryer, and I have a couple more goodies from them that are going to go on this bed, and I'm so excited. Okay, so I actually picked this out in person. Boll Branch now has some brick and mortar stores, and they just opened one here in Atlanta, and it is such a fun store. Oh my gosh, you guys. But this is the reversible comforter set, and it is in this like really beautiful, what do we call that? Almost like a periwinkle blue. And the walls in here are like a lavender, and I just felt like that would go really, really well together. And then this beautiful blanket, I don't remember the name of this color. It will be on the website. What's the color? Bluestone is the color. And this is the queen size essential bed blanket. And then I also got this beautiful lumbar pillow. And then this is the insert for that. And I think this is, what color are you? The Aran Knit decorative pillow cover. And this is in deep bluestone. And then this is how the pillow inserts come. I got 2 of these, and I'm very excited to put to put new pillows on this bed because these pillows are just like, don't look like they're nasty. A couple of them are newer, but a couple of them are not and need to not be on this bed anymore. And they're certainly not okay for guests. So I'm going to put all of this stuff together once I get the laundry done. And I just think it's going to be so beautiful with all the colors in here. Now, I think I'm going to record the intro to this video after this is all put together. So you'll get to see it all done before you see me actually doing it, which is kind of fun. I hope it turns out beautiful. I feel like it will.
There are several elements that I like to bring in when I am setting up the guest room. And my goal for this year is to leave it set up like this all the time. Even with the most recent hurricanes, we had some friends that live in the Nashville area, that live in Asheville, that live in Orlando. And I wanted to be able to offer them a space to come with the hurricanes. That didn't end up being needed, but it did make me think, I really kind of want at least one guest room to be ready to go whenever it may be needed. Also, keep in mind that I have a lot of family that live out of town, so this room was ready for a refresh. But let's go through like some of the elements that I think are really important in a quality guest room. Number 1, make sure that you actually spend the night in the guest room. As I probably already mentioned in this video, spending the night in this room made me realize that there were a few issues. One thing I didn't mention is we have a major temperature issue in this room. And I didn't realize how much warmer this room is than the rest of the house. So when we have guests in here, I'm going to make sure that they tell me if they're too warm or too cold so I can make sure that the temperature is comfortable. I really don't like to be too hot when I sleep. So anyway, that was one thing that I didn't know. I love to have a chair, and that's so that if your guests want to take a break, if they are like me, if they recharge their batteries by being alone, to have a little spot for reading, a nice reading light, a little table where they can put their book and maybe a drink of water. It just makes it feel that much more cozy and warm. This particular chair belonged to my great-grandmother, and we need to have it reupholstered. But in the meantime, before I do that, I have this little Boll Branch throw over it to kind of hide some stains things. So having furniture that's important to our family is kind of a big deal to have in this space, especially since so much family will be using it. Another thing I love to have is a little amenity basket of things that they may have forgotten. So a toothbrush, deodorant, little sample sizes of shampoo and conditioner. I love my Elemis products and I'm always getting samples in the mail from them. So those will go in here if they want to do a little treat yourself moment, making sure I have some body wash, just all of the things that people tend to forget, and then a few little niceties so that if they want to indulge in a little facial or something, they can do that. I also love to have something organic. I have a plant in here right now, but if someone were actually coming to stay, I would put fresh flowers in here, assuming they don't have allergies. You want to check with them on that. And then just some little reading material, maybe a book that I've really enjoyed that's an easy read, some magazines, those sort of things. And of course, a candle, because, you know, nothing says warm and cozy like having a candle. The other thing is make sure that your guests have some place to put their stuff. A lot of times I think if we have too many things, and maybe you're on the decluttering journey, and so maybe in the past that wasn't possible, but as we let go of excess stuff, I like to try as much as possible to make sure they have at least a drawer, if not two, space in the bathroom. I'd like to set up a little bit of counter space, whether that be on top of a dresser or it could be in the bathroom or on the nightstand, just that they have some clear surfaces to put their things. You also want to make sure that plugs are accessible for them to charge their devices. In this room, you might have noticed the bed is actually not centered on the wall, which is a little bit annoying. I need to put a power strip there so that people can access that plug. If I centered the bedpost was literally right up against the plug. So I need to get a power strip so that we can center it a little bit better, but make sure that that kind of consideration, where are they going to plug their devices? Where are they going to read in bed? Another thing I noticed when I was sleeping in this room is that the light bulb that I had in this lamp was not bright enough to read by. And, you know, I don't like the overhead lights. They're very offensive. So being able to have a nice reading light so that they can sit in bed and be on their devices or read a book or whatever it is they want to do just makes it a lot more comfortable. Another thing you want to make sure is that you have a list somewhere of the house rules. And no, that doesn't mean that they have a curfew, but there are some things that might be particular to your house that you want to make sure guests know and you want to make sure you don't forget. Things like the Wi-Fi password, things like the alarm code, because that doesn't, you know, just because they're staying at your house, they may have other things that they're doing, other people they're visiting. You want to make sure they have the alarm code. If there's anything unusual with your pets, my friend Rachel was here a couple of years ago, and I had told them that Sadie tended to get into things and to really make sure they kept the bedroom door shut, and they didn't by accident, and Sadie ate Rachel's retainer, which was not great. And I felt really bad about it. But make sure you have that stuff in writing. Maybe if your pets aren't allowed outside certain hours, or, you know, just those little things that you might take for granted, but someone would feel horrible if they did something or let a pet out that wasn't supposed to go out, or whatever the case may be. So I like sending a text message or an email with some house rules, and also to ask for any food allergies, if they have any breakfast preferences, things like that. I always like to have, when I have guests, to have breakfast be on your own. Lately, I've been doing the steel cut oats in the crock pot overnight. What a great thing for guests to wake up to. They can just help themselves. But I like having a tray of pastries, maybe some muffins, anything that they can grab and go. And also make sure you give them instructions to your coffee maker. Everybody's coffee maker is a little bit different, and you want to make sure that if a guest gets up before you, that they have their coffee. I thought about in this room, and I might do this before my sister comes, giving her one of those little individual Keurigs and actually setting up a little coffee station so that she can do that in here without even having to come down in the morning. So that would be really nice and really bougie. Speaking of really nice and really bougie, I have had over the years some what I call VIP guests, and these are people who are visiting because they're going through it, okay? I've had a friend come that was had just been divorced. I've had a friend come who was dealing with a cancer diagnosis. I've had multiple friends who are grieving. These are people that I feel like need a little bit extra care. So for them, you might want to do things like add a really beautiful bathrobe, maybe the Boll Branch one that I mentioned. Maybe you want to give them a little welcome gift, maybe a really beautiful journal and a pen. Maybe you want to set out a book that would be a gift for them. Just sort of those little extra touches, maybe a little snack basket, maybe a bottle of wine, something that just makes them know that this is a place where they can completely relax, where they can heal if they need to, and they can really take a break. So I hope if you have guests coming this year that you have plenty of time to start now getting those spaces ready for the holidays, because right before they come, you know how it's going to be. You're going to be rushing around. You're going to be trying to get your menu prepared. You're going to be trying to get ready for the holidays. Now, for me, this kind of quiet before the storm at the beginning of November is a great time to start preparing for guests, to make sure towels are in good shape, to make sure sheets are in good shape, and make sure you go over to Boll Branch and use that Gemma Forge 25 to get 25% off site-wide. It makes a great gift and a great little refresh for your own house. So happy November, everybody. Happy guests, happy holidays. Is it too early to say that? Maybe not. I hope whatever you're doing today, you're finding joy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.